As a brain doctor, I'm shocked this morning. Habit raises stroke risk overnight. Oh, Senior Health, if you're over 60 and still doing this one thing every morning, you may be unknowingly pushing your brain toward a stroke. I know that sounds alarming, but as a brain doctor with over 20 years of experience, I've seen far too many patients, smart, healthy, good people, suffer strokes they never expected. Just last month, a 68-year-old patient came in. No smoking, ate well, walked every day. But one simple morning habit nearly cost him his life. You see, when we get older, the blood vessels in our brain become more delicate, like fine crystal. And the smallest shock to your system in the morning, even something as simple as skipping water or jumping out of bed too fast, can trigger a chain reaction that leads to disaster. That's why I'm making this video. Not to scare you, but to protect you. In the next 8 minutes, I'll share 5 morning mistakes that quietly increase your stroke risk, and 3 brain-saving tips you can start as soon as tomorrow. One of them. Tip number 7. Honestly surprised even me. So if you or someone you love is over 60, please watch until the end. These small changes could literally save your brain. Part 2. The most dangerous habit. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Let me ask you something personal. What's the very first thing you put into your body every morning? If your answer is coffee, you're not alone. But here's the shocking truth. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach could be one of the worst things you do for your brain, especially after 60. Let me explain why. Caffeine causes your blood vessels to constrict. When you drink coffee first thing in the morning, before any water or food, caffeine hits your system hard. It causes the blood vessels in your brain to suddenly tighten, reducing blood flow to critical areas. For younger adults, this effect might be mild. But for seniors, whose blood vessels are already more fragile, this sudden constriction can become a stroke trigger. Coffee also dehydrates you, thickening your blood. Caffeine is a natural diuretic. It pulls water from your body and flushes it out. So when you drink coffee on an empty stomach, especially without any water, it makes your blood thicker and more prone to clotting. One study even found that seniors who drink coffee before food are 2.3 times more likely to experience small strokes. That's not just a number, it's a warning. What should you do instead? Simple. Drink a glass of warm water first. Then eat something light and nourishing, like a banana, a few almonds, or even half an avocado. Foods rich in potassium and magnesium help stabilize your blood pressure and protect your brain from sudden shifts. As a brain doctor, I still enjoy coffee, but I always remind my patients, coffee should never be your first act of the day. Water is your brain's true wake-up call. Do you drink coffee before breakfast? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. And don't worry, this next habit is even more common and even more risky. Let's talk about it in the next section. Part 3. The hidden danger of jumping out of bed too fast. Here's a quick question for you. When you wake up in the morning, do you sit up right away, or do you take a moment to breathe? Be honest. Most of us jump up quickly because we think it saves time. But for seniors, this simple habit could be silently putting your brain and your life at serious risk. The real issue? Postural hypotension. This is something I see far too often in my older patients. It's called postural hypotension, or a sudden drop in blood pressure when you change positions, like going from lying down to standing. When this happens, blood rushes away from your brain and into your legs, leaving your brain temporarily starved of oxygen. That's why some people feel dizzy, off balance, or disoriented in the morning. It may seem harmless, but here's the danger. These brief moments of low blood flow can trigger mini-strokes, TIAs, and significantly increase the risk of falling, which is one of the leading causes of hospitalization in seniors. So what's the safer way to get up? Let me share what I call the 3-step safe wake-up method, a simple routine I teach all my patients. Turn to your side and lie there for 1 to 2 minutes. Slowly push yourself up to a sitting position. Sit and breathe for 30 seconds before standing. This short process gives your body time to adjust, allowing your blood pressure to stabilize and your brain to stay well oxygenated. I always say, rushing the first 60 seconds of your day isn't worth the next 60 years of your health. Have you ever felt lightheaded when standing up in the morning? Comment yes or no. I'd love to hear your experience. Now, if you think skipping water in the morning was risky, the next habit might surprise you even more. Let's take a look. Part 4. Skipping water in the morning, a silent risk to your brain. Let me ask you something simple, but important. How many glasses of water do you drink in the first hour after waking up? Take a second and really think about it. Because not drinking enough water in the morning could silently raise your risk of stroke, especially as we age. Why is morning hydration so critical? When we sleep for 7-8 hours, our body loses water through breathing and sweating, even if we don't feel it. By the time you wake up, your blood is thicker, your organs are slightly dehydrated, and your brain is thirsty for oxygen and flow. Now, imagine starting your day without rehydrating. Your blood stays thick, sluggish, and more likely to form clots, the kind that can block arteries in the brain. For seniors, this is especially dangerous. As we age, our thirst response weakens, so we often don't feel thirsty, even when our bodies are craving water. That's what makes this habit so tricky and so risky. What does the science say? A study from Mayo Clinic found that drinking just 1 glass of warm water in the morning can reduce your stroke risk by 15 to 20%. That's powerful. A simple morning routine that protects your brain. Start your day with a glass of warm water, ideally with a slice of lemon or a pinch of sea salt to help with mineral balance. This jumpstarts circulation, wakes up your digestive system, and nourishes your brain. As a brain doctor, I always remind my patients, your brain runs on blood, and blood needs water. How many cups of water do you usually drink in the morning? Comment below. I'd love to hear. And if you think water is powerful, wait until you hear about this next common breakfast mistake that could be silently harming your arteries every day. Let's continue. Part 5. Skipping breakfast or eating too late. A hidden risk to brain health. Let me start with this. What did you eat this morning? And more importantly, what time did you eat it? Many seniors tell me they either skip breakfast or grab something quick much later in the day. But this simple timing issue can have serious consequences for your brain. Skipping breakfast causes your blood sugar to crash. When you wake up, your brain needs fuel, and that fuel comes from glucose. If you don't eat within the first hour or two, your blood sugar drops, triggering your body to release stress hormones like cortisol. This can cause your blood vessels to constrict abnormally, making your heart work harder and reducing blood flow to the brain. You might not feel it right away, but over time, this daily stress takes a toll on your vascular system. Delayed eating throws your hormones out of balance, especially if you drink coffee first or start working right away. Your body interprets this as a stress signal and increases cortisol, your fight-or-flight hormone. Chronic high cortisol has been linked to inflammation, high blood pressure, and damage to blood vessels, a perfect storm for stroke risk. I've seen many patients improve their energy and mental clarity just by shifting when they eat. The solution: eat a light, antioxidant-rich breakfast. Start your day with something simple: a small bowl of oatmeal, a handful of berries, a boiled egg, or a slice of avocado. These foods are gentle on your digestion and packed with brain-protecting nutrients. And remember, when you nourish your brain early, it thanks you all day long. Do you usually eat breakfast within the first hour of waking up? Type yes or no below. I'd love to see your habits. Up next, we'll talk about one habit most people think is refreshing, but it could actually put your brain at risk in the very first minutes of the day. Part 6. Cold showers. Right after waking up, a refreshing habit that may hurt your brain. Here's a habit many people think is healthy. Waking up and heading straight to the bathroom to splash cold water on the face, or even take a cold shower. It feels energizing, right? But here's what most people don't know, especially after age 60. That sudden burst of cold can actually be harmful to your blood vessels and brain. Cold shock causes your blood vessels to constrict fast. When cold water hits your skin, especially when your body is still waking up, it triggers a sudden constriction of blood vessels, including those in your brain. For people with healthy circulation, this might be a harmless jolt. But for seniors, especially those with a history of high blood pressure or fragile arteries, this shock can increase the risk of tiny ruptures or even a stroke. You might feel lightheaded, tense, or have a sudden spike in blood pressure. These effects are often brushed off, but they can add up over time. So, what should you do instead? Use warm or lukewarm water and let your body ease into the day. If you enjoy morning showers, wait at least 30 minutes after breakfast to allow your circulation and blood pressure to stabilize. This simple shift can make a big difference. I always remind my patients, your brain doesn't need a cold shock. It needs steady support. Do you usually shower right after waking up? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. And now that we've covered morning mistakes, let's wrap up with 3 powerful habits you can start tomorrow that will protect and refresh your brain every day. Part 7. Morning habits that activate blood flow to your brain. Here's something most people overlook in the morning. You don't need intense workouts. Just 1 minute of gentle, brain-focused movement can make all the difference. That's right. You can wake up your brain gently with a few simple steps, even before getting out of bed. Try the 1-minute brain activation routine. When you first wake up, take a moment to do this. Gently rub your forehead and temples with both hands. This helps stimulate circulation to the frontal lobe, your center for focus and memory. Take 3 deep breaths, slowly in through your nose, out through your mouth. Deep breathing helps bring oxygen to the brain and lowers stress hormones like cortisol. Stretch your arms above your head and slowly rotate your neck side to side. These gentle movements help improve blood flow to the brainstem and reduce stiffness. These movements might seem small, but they create a powerful shift in how your brain functions the rest of the day. Bonus tip: add soft music or a moment of mindfulness. Listening to calming music or practicing just 2 minutes of stillness or gratitude can help stabilize heart rate and support mental clarity. Personally, I start every day with this mini routine. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it feels like a full reset for my body and mind. Your brain doesn't need a miracle. It needs a morning ritual. Have you ever tried a brain-boosting morning stretch? Type yes or no's below. I'd love to hear your routine. Now you've learned the 6 common mistakes and 1 powerful habit. Let's wrap up with a quick summary and the most important takeaway to protect your brain for years to come. A doctor's final word on morning habits and brain health. So let's take a moment to reflect. Each morning, we're given a choice, often without realizing it. In the first 10 minutes after waking up, you're either supporting your brain or slowly putting it at risk. But the good news is, stroke is preventable, especially when you take control of your mornings. And it doesn't take anything extreme. Just small, mindful shifts. Drinking water before coffee, sitting up slowly, avoiding cold shocks, eating something nourishing, and doing 1 minute of gentle brain movement. These may seem simple, but they're incredibly powerful. I've seen these small habits transform the energy, memory, and balance of many patients in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. And if you're thinking, is it too late to start? Let me say clearly, it's never too late. The brain has a beautiful way of responding to love, care, and consistency, no matter your age. Your brain is not asking for perfection, it's asking for protection. So I invite you to start tomorrow with intention. Change just one habit, then another. Do it for your clarity, your independence, and for those who love you and want to see you well. Which of these 7 habits are part of your mornings? And which one will you change starting tomorrow? Comment below. I'd love to hear. If you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more health insights. And if you have a parent, a partner, or a friend over 60, share this video with them. You never know. You might save a life today. Drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts, or tell us what topic you'd like us to cover next. We read every message, and your voice helps us grow this caring community. Stay informed, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video.